In the burning deserts of Arabia, during an age of tribal warfare and great empires, a child was born in Mecca who would grow to become one of the most brilliant military commanders in history. His name was Khalid ibn al-Waleed. Born around 592 AD into the powerful Maqsum clan, Khalid's childhood was shaped by strength, honor, and the art of war. While other children played in the streets of Mecca, Khalid trained with horses, learned to fight with the sword, and mastered the spear. From a young age, war was not just a skill for him, it was a way of life. Khalid grew up in a society where courage and strength determined a man's worth. He quickly earned a reputation as a fearless horseman. His body was strong, his mind sharp, and his strategies already far ahead of his time. When the message of Islam began to spread, Khalid, like many from his tribe, initially stood against the Prophet Muhammad and his followers. His loyalty was to Quraysh and its power. But destiny had other plans for him. In the famous Battle of Uhud, Khalid showed his tactical brilliance for the first time. Observing a gap in the Muslim formation, he led a surprise cavalry attack from the rear, changing the entire course of the battle. His skills as a commander were undeniable. But years later, Khalid would embrace Islam, not just as a faith, but as a new mission. Once he accepted Islam, he put all his intelligence, strength, and strategic power in the service of the Muslim community. He became the sharp edge of their defense and offense. One of his earliest legendary moments came during the Battle of Mu'tah. It was one of the first major encounters between the Muslim army and the powerful Byzantine Empire. The Muslims were outnumbered, just 3,000 against tens of thousands. When 3 Muslim commanders fell, Khalid took command. Calm under pressure, he reorganized the lines, changed the army's formation, and led a series of swift maneuvers that confused the enemy. Then, with incredible skill, he withdrew his troops safely. What could have been a disaster became a story of courage and strategy. After that day, the Prophet Muhammad gave him a title that would be remembered forever, Saifullah, the Sword of Allah. But Khalid's story did not end there. After the Prophet's passing, the young Muslim state faced internal rebellion. Many tribes abandoned their pledges, and false prophets rose. The Caliph Abu Bakr needed a commander who could bring Arabia together again. Khalid was chosen. He led lightning campaigns across the Arabian Peninsula, defeating tribe after tribe with speed and precision. He negotiated peace where possible and struck hard where necessary. Within months, Arabia was united once again. With the internal front secured, the Muslim armies turned their attention toward the powerful empires surrounding Arabia, the Persians in the east and the Byzantines in the west. Khalid ibn al-Waleed became the spearhead of this expansion. His campaigns against the Persian Empire showed a new kind of warfare, fast, flexible, and intelligent. At the Battle of al-Waleed, Khalid's cavalry struck like a storm, breaking the Persian lines and surrounding them. His tactics were so precise that larger armies fell apart in front of his smaller, more mobile forces. Khalid's genius was not just in brute strength, it was in strategy. He used terrain, weather, and speed as weapons. He was known for forced marches across deserts, surprising enemies who thought he was far away. His soldiers trusted him completely because his strategies brought victory again and again. He once marched his army across the harsh Syrian desert to outflank the Byzantines, a move so daring that even his enemies later praised it. His most famous battle came at Yarmouk against the Byzantine Empire, one of the largest and most decisive battles in early Islamic history. The Byzantines came with a massive army. Khalid, with a smaller force, positioned his troops with perfect precision. He placed cavalry on the flanks, infantry at the center, and used the wind, terrain, and psychology to break the enemy's spirit. Over several days of fierce fighting, Khalid's brilliant tactics turned the tide. The Byzantine forces were crushed, and the doors of Syria opened for the Muslim armies. Yarmouk became a symbol of how intelligence and courage can defeat overwhelming numbers. Despite his unmatched victories, Khalid remained humble. He never fought for wealth or fame. He once said, "I have fought in so many battles, seeking martyrdom, but death always escaped me." He lived as a warrior and died peacefully in Homs, Syria, not on the battlefield but on his bed, with tears in his eyes because he wished to die as a martyr. He left behind a legacy that still inspires military leaders around the world. Khalid ibn al-Waleed is remembered as the Sword of Allah, a title that reflects not only his strength but also his deep faith and dedication. His story is not just about battles, it's about strategy, courage, loyalty, and the power of belief. From the deserts of Arabia to the plains of Syria, his name echoed as a symbol of victory. Even today, historians and military experts study his tactics. He showed how discipline, speed, and intelligence can change the course of history. He was not born a legend, he became one through action, courage, and unwavering commitment. This is the story of a man who defeated empires, united tribes, and changed the destiny of nations. A warrior, a strategist, and a symbol of fearless leadership, Khalid ibn al-Waleed, the Sword of Allah.